with Mr. CK Kumar. So CK Kumar is the COO at Alert Ops right now, but he's been linked with Thuvakkam for over what 10 years. Uh, he's actually master's in historical studies from the Madras University. He also has postgraduate diploma courses in systems management and personal management. So welcome, CK, to
Good
to
to
the
back. Mm.
to this podcast for experience exchange. So something that stuck out to me was your PG diploma in systems management and personal management.
Personal management.
Personal management, yes. Uh, that is, I think, a key factor when it comes to discussing volunteering because managing people eventually ends up at a point where we need to manage the systems which manages people. So, just as we start, I want to get your idea of what is volunteering, which is the topic we're discussing today in Experience Exchange.
I think it's I don't have a particular description for it, but essence of volunteering is time and effort. Is you're not going to get paid for it. You are giving away your time, which most of us have lots of it, and we don't realize. We always feel we're busy and we don't have time. And then the effort sometimes, why? Because depending on what work you're volunteering for, there is effort. Even if it's the smallest bit of thing, there is an effort quotient to one. But bigger thing is the time, because you need to show the inclination and the time to go and do the volunteering part. And the other key aspect of it is the non compensation part, which is kind of becoming gray. There is an aspect of to expect some kind of remuneration, how it's evolving, but that's a whole different conversation at some point. Does that answer your?
Yes. I think we need to dial back time because both of us are volunteers, right?
Right.
So both of us are volunteers. We've been working with Thuvakkam. We've been working as a part of Thuvakkam in a lot of aspects. So, uh, could you tell me briefly, like, how you actually heard of Thuvakkam and how you?
Yeah, it was in, I forget the newspaper, either Hindu or Indian Express. There was an article on the fact that you guys, you were at the time very active member of Tourism, and you were cleaning up the post cyclone. You were cleaning up the World War Kotam. I think either you're painting the walls or you're cleaning up the place of all the shrubbery and everything that was left behind by the cyclone. So I'm running an organization of, I think at that time, almost 300 plus people, and I'm looking for some kind of an outlet to get the employees over there engaged in some activity. Because most of my people there at that time, we are running an IT shop. Everybody's job is basically banging away the keyboard. The most used part of their head is a brain, which means that they work themselves into stress, work themselves into physical effort is virtually zero. And therefore, the only break they get is the weekend, where again, as an IT company, you understand that we say, the முடிக்கணும் மண்டிக்குள்ள முடிச்சிடணும்
The stress of the right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So everything is due yesterday, right? So that's how I was looking, and I saw this team, and I think there was a phone number there, and that's how I contacted Krishna. And I think yeah, it was a momentous meeting. Quickly, you guys came, and that's how we started talking. And I think initially the portfolio of engagement was, I'll give you money, but you have to get my people involved in that activity. I think subsequently I felt that I should also personally engage, or I just felt, so you were saying, I'm a volunteer. What was I volunteering was all the skill that I had built of running an organization, running people, managing teams, and establishing organizations. I felt you guys can get used. I mean, you can use it, and that's what I'm trying to give from my side to people that I interact with.
Yeah. So true. Because that phrase has always stuck with me. Like, hey, it's fine that you're doing some CSR activity, but I want my employees there as well. I want them to be part of some, yeah, engaged in some education initiative or planting or whatever you guys do. I want my people there. I think at this point of time, we are seeing that sort of renaissance happening over the past 2 to 3 years, where LinkedIn, like the most popular networking suite, they have introduced separate section for these charity events, or what are the volunteering events you're part of. So when it comes to an employee, rather than just filling up a resume, companies, organizations are also starting to look at who you are as a person, depending on what your interests and passions are. So how do you think that filling up the resume corresponds with volunteering in terms of skills, or what does that volunteering develop in me when it comes to like the effort of it?
So if you are, so as to I am I am studying, I know, okay, and then I am working, and now what should I do? Right. I want to address the first part because if you're working, then you really must have a lot of inclination to start volunteering. Okay, எனக்கு time வேணும், time இல்ல, weekend தான் இருக்கு, weekend இருக்கு. There are some aspects that
Right.
cover that in it. But for because of why I was more, I more want to talk about the first part is I am increasingly seeing when I was running that organization CNSI, and even now when I get profiles of people, they finish colleges. There is a gap. So they finish in 2000, let's say 24, they finish college. They missed the placement bus on the college for whatever reason, or they couldn't get it. And then they're looking. So my question is, sir, என்ன பண்ற? What were you doing? 1 year வந்து college. Yeah, yeah. So the typical says, இல்ல சார், I'm வேலை தேடிட்டு இருக்கேன். அது தெரியுது. What else are you doing? Okay. A lot of people find it very difficult to keep themselves engaged and explain what they're doing. Okay. They are very shy because they're not really doing anything. So you could, if you worked in IT firm, which is what I was running, you could have built your own project. There are so many activities, so many people do so many different things. So one of the things I was thinking was that volunteering, if they had volunteered themselves, okay, because what I'm looking for in a person when it comes across to me is the first thing I'm looking for is a person with an attitude. How have you applied yourself? Okay. ஏன்னா technical skills we can always train. I can always help you with technical skills. I can help you with certain skills. But what attitude you bring to the table. Okay. So where I'm connecting these things is that yeah, you have to gain what the time is. Which what can you do? You can volunteer your people, right? You're going to have somebody dialing. No. Okay. Yeah. So you're going to meet 10, 50 people. You're going to work in a group, right? So there is an activity in terms of group activity. So a lot of management related concepts you can pick from there in organization, communication, exchange of teamwork, managing resources or managing timelines. All of this is something that depending on the level, ஒரு பிளான்டேஷன் போனா அதெல்லாம் வரப்போறது இல்லை. But consistent போயிட்டு வரும்போது, if you keep your engagement active in these places location, you can pick that. Now what will that help you versus when you go to an organization now, you have a story to say. Right. What were you doing? இதெல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தேன். சரி, okay. I mean, somebody like me may appreciate that. Someone else may not appreciate that you went to an NGO and you are doing some tree plantation. And how is that going to tie with me to my work? But you should be able to explain because this is what I learned in my experience. 6 months of tree plantation. This is what I experienced. How to manage one typical thing that most organizations have is lack of appropriate resources when you want to start the activity. Okay. 10 விஷயம் வேணும், 8 தான் இருக்கும். Now you have to manage. Yeah. Okay. Because how do you do that? How do you do that? So now if you did that in one event, in one of Thuvakkam's events, so somewhere, you did that, you have a story to say. நான் வந்து இது பண்ணேன். நான் I stepped up and I got the two different things that was missing and I was able to manage the activity over there. A lot of people are looking for that particular skill, right? Because that is very, very lacking in the colleges. Entry level, right? Because they don't train it. Level. Yeah. Okay. Entry level, particularly because you have nothing else to sell. Mm-hmm. That's the typical thing. Experience இருக்கா? இல்ல. அவ்வளவுதான் experience கிடைக்கும். Okay. So first experience I can say now fast forward to the 5 year, 10 year experience in the Indian IT environment. All what we are expecting the people to do, and I can only talk about the Indian IT environment, is we are expecting them to do something specifically that is directed. சொல்றது செய்.
Yeah.
Okay, கேள்வினா கேட்காத, இதை முடிக்கணும். So don't worry about why. Don't worry about all those things. All you need is when it's due yesterday.
They, you're talking about IT, and it sounds like they're treating employees as machines, right? You have this input, get me the output. Like
So-
that's the attitude that they're going for.
So what happens there is that people tend to they forget the basis of their existence other than machine money.
Right.
Code அடிக்கணும். Okay. So where will I get my outlet? Where am I going to see something where I can actually, so the company is not encouraging me to ask questions, think, and then offer new solutions. Maybe volunteering is an aspect. Maybe you use your time differently. Even in sport, so many things. Everything is this thing. But there's another aspect of volunteering which I wanted to pick up on a little later, is that this again is particular of the path that I came through, path that many people come through. Um, we all reach this particular location or particular state in our life because somebody somewhere lent you a hand. Okay, in some form. Okay, எல்லாருமே வந்து தன்னோட முயற்சி மட்டும் வச்சுட்டு தன்னோட with your own skills and your own prowess you don't reach there. Somewhere somebody opened a door for you or a window for you and you sneaked in or you walked through. You probably qualified, but the door had to be open for you. Okay, there's always someone else waiting for a door to be open. Why wouldn't you, when you've reached a particular state in your life, offer that hand or offer that thing? So this is another aspect. This is more of a philosophical thing, but if you that impresses you, that likes you, then that's another avenue for you to look at.
Yeah, because I saw this post somewhere where I said, if you think that because you struggled, if someone else has to struggle to get to your spot, then you are not in a position to care for them. Like just because I struggle, I shouldn't be like you should also struggle. If I struggle, then I can lend a hand, right? I can pick someone up. I can say, no, this is the path that you should follow to get to the journey that get to the point where you're in, which I think volunteering bridges, right? Because
I'm laughing because we experience the exact opposite in some people. I struggle. Why should you struggle?
right, no, that's the wrong mentality, which I think has been inculcated into us, right?
Very true. Very true.
So, you spoke about how the employee tends to get sucked into this corporate life, right?
Yes.
But there is also this change happening where there is some corporate volunteering which is baked into the company structure. People are opening up. There was a survey on LinkedIn for volunteering in 2025, and they said that corporate volunteering, some of the best feedback they received was it promotes a higher employee satisfaction because they feel like they are contributing something more than just work, and it also boosts the organization's value in terms of the employee's vision. So how do you think a corporate caring actually helps the employee as well as the community or the society?
Um, if I am an employee, I will actually feel proud working for a company that is helping someone. Okay. And then if I'm actually participating in that activity, if I've given an opportunity to go and come on, let's go and help, let's say, a blind school or people with ecology or environment, whatever, some area that some cause that needs help, right? And when you're working for a company that's actively promoting it, I feel proud. My company is just not doing this; it is actually showing some value. Okay, lot of us who work, who make reasonable sums of money, have a vacuum that part, that value system in mind, value system where I can contribute. I'm not any time again, this time problem is a big thing. Okay. So so when company offers that avenue, it makes my life easier. I just have to be part of that program and then do some activity with that. And then I feel my 2 hours of passion or 2 hours of outlet that I get a week or month, etc. And so on. Some people get more engaged. Some people just go one or two events and then they're happy with what they've done and they feel proud of it. So be it, whatever it is, right? So it is, unfortunately, unless the company provides an activity. So what I'm saying, unfortunately, is because many companies are coming forward, they need to, and this was a challenge we had at CNSI also when I was running there. Going as my current company is it's very still a smaller team. We are still getting to that 100+ people where we can actually create some momentum, right? So the thing that we wanted there was how do we get people to get engaged and we only had about 5-10% of the company showing up on weekends because there the problem was one day weekend that also you're asking us to come and do some activity, right? Right. So, but the company has to create that vehicle. Varna, we can, and we actually work. You guys are fantastic partners because we said, hey, can you change the events to weekdays? It'll help increase the
Oh yeah, like
attendance.
college bunk பண்ற மாதிரி company time. Oh great, I'll just go. I'll paint
Yeah.
company hours. Right?
Yeah. So அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு அவென்யூ கிரியேட் பண்ணும் அதை வந்து the concept of CSR funding that the government introduced a few years back is kind of opening more and more doors to allow that to happen. And I think I'm hoping that that is an active way by which people are engaging or using that opportunity. But you hit it right. அது வந்து அந்த கம்பெனி அதை கொடுக்கும்போது அந்த எம்ப்ளாயீஸ்க்கு வந்து there's definitely an outlet that a lot of people are aspiring for.
Yeah, I think it also gives the employees another opportunity for themselves, right? The Yeah, maybe they were a great singer and they couldn't sing, right? Maybe they lost the passion for it and they couldn't find the time for it. And hey, maybe the CSR or an organization organizes a singing competition for the kids and they get to showcase their talent. So they're like, hey, I'm able to do something I love. So I think in that way also volunteering brings out something that the employee themselves might have forgotten about. So I think volunteering provides such a beautiful little niche where the person can discover something new about themselves.
No, true. I think, yeah, I don't know why you picked on singing, but
Oh, yeah.
no, there are several aspects to இது வந்து volunteeringனா வந்து the other side is poor and wanting and I need to help, or the other side is desperate and like it's a flood relief camp or it's like a that kind of stuff, etc. and so on. அது மட்டும் இல்ல, like you said, there are other things that you can do. And one of my areas of where I want to reach out is always integrated me is concept of providing education or helping with the education, and because change comes from learning, right? Right. So that's why anyway.
Yeah, change comes from learning. Um, in this time and age, I think we need to touch upon something which is AI. Right? AI is doing a lot of changes for the organizations. Recently, a workshop I attended put it in a very beautiful way. They said AI will change the organization by bringing in new roles because now the on-field person they can use AI to create a Gantt chart, so they don't have to rely on someone else on the
Right.
corporate side to do it for them. So, in a similar way, do you think volunteering, the skill gap that they may have, might be bridged by this AI boom?
I don't know.
Let me like give an example because you mentioned that people who are studying find a lot of time, and it's interesting because Thuvakkam started when we were in college, right? Because we had ample time, right? So in the time that we had, I was able to contribute as a social media creator. Like the first time we had a post on social media with our own logo was beautiful.
So talking because of AI, can there be other avenues of where people can volunteer? Is that right? Okay. Let's address the AI first part, okay, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Because this is at Alert Ops, we are also not just Alert Ops, every company in the world is having an impact of what AI will disrupt and how will it change. And what things will happen because of it. So I was on the side of no, I don't resist the computers வரதுக்கு முன்னாடி வந்துட்டு how people looked at
Oh yeah,
computers.
the whole Y2K was, oh my god, it's going to destroy. And then the internet bubble. And
Yeah.
there were so many things.
So I was like, I've seen many of these, and I don't know how this is going to impact. It's all, and we have done some machine learning stuff from our side previously, and I was like very very ambivalent about how this is going to go. But my team at Alert Ops, they were gung ho about it, and actually we are seeing a lot of results. Right. We are our product is using it. We are actually using it in our day to day life, and have we really gained speed and efficiency? Yes and no. In certain areas, we have been able to improve in terms of how we produce and create content, or how we react to a sales event, or how we create to a marketing event, etc., and all those kind of things. In certain areas, we still find that the human element is still required in making this actually work effectively. Okay, but you're right. There are now so much more, especially in terms of information gathering, assembling, dissemination. AI can play a huge role. Okay, and Nadi, you said no, you were a social media creator. You would have had used a lot of thinking time to create the content that I've seen your graphics. The templates we had to looked at how you guys did. அதெல்லாம் இப்போ வந்து டக்கு டக்குன்னு பண்ணிடலாம். Yeah. Okay, if you load your entire Thuvakkam's history into ChatGPT or Claude or one of the tools, etc., then you say, give me the stats of. You remember, I used to keep asking, show me the progress, right. Before and after. Yeah. Okay. Very easily done, because I'm sure you probably sat with spreadsheets, collected data, and all those kind of good stuff. There is the little element of hallucination or lying thing, which is a very small problem, and it can be easily solved to a large extent if the human behind it still applies the thinking that's required. So yes, behind you can be what many people call themselves as armchair warriors. Yeah. And still do a lot of effort. And today, you probably hit upon something, because today the issue that we have is a lot of not information, disinformation. Okay, so there is a huge opportunity that's opening up in terms of fact checkers and this thing, etc., and so on. So இது எங்க போய் எப்படி the impact வரப்போகுது endல தெரியல. But AI is not done. Okay, we ourselves in our organization Alert Ops, this year we're going to double what we do with AI internally in terms of how we actually apply it and how we do it. So why I'm saying that, I'm referring to that, is because I can see the impact. Okay, from a person who was kind of like an ambivalent, இது நடக்குமா யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும்போது, I'm now begin I'm now an active proponent of do this, do this, do this. So, and we are only scratching the surface. So there's so much more impact that's going to come. How it's all going to happen, how it's all going to evolve, it's still TBD. It's still a lot more. But if you think somebody is going to do that and contribute, hey, power to you. Get going. Yeah, I think like you said, since AI is such a digital platform, there was a huge boom in volunteering when it came to virtual volunteering. Yeah. COVID had locked all the doors, but there were still these passionate people who wanted to do something, who wanted to contribute. And I think Thuvakkam, we ran virtual awareness campaigns. We invited people to create social media content. Like you said, right now it's way more easier for people to give some solid output for their virtual mind. Mm. So we seem to have technical difficulties. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Hi all. Sorry about it. Like we have a minor technical glitch. So we'll be back shortly. Um,
In your flow.
That is it. So
We're back.
Yeah, we're back. So we were talking about how COVID opened the door for virtual volunteering. Um, When it comes to virtual volunteering, people, like you said, the armchair warriors, they're able to contribute a lot. And uh, we think volunteering as something huge. Like, I need to go. There was even that famous Bollywood movie where one man broke through an entire mountain to create. Like, volunteering, yeah, volunteering is something so big, but it can also be something small as fact checking of data. Um, yeah, we're on. I think it's connecting to network.
Yes, everything is perfect, Karthik. We can go ahead.
We're good on time. Yeah. Um, so yeah, volunteering can be something huge, but it can also be something small that triggers an idea. Because uh, when it comes to volunteering, there are huge things which started because of people lacking a platform. For example, the suffragette movement in America, which was for the women voting. There are scores of volunteers who go to the field just for collecting information data. United Nations, UNESCO, those are very, very prominent volunteer run organizations. I'm sure a lot of people, they have met the UNICEF volunteers on the field. They are collecting funds, or they are trying to spread the message of some good volunteering cause. So, do you think a volunteer run organization is going to help both the volunteer and the organization, or is there a give and take? How is a volunteer run organization going to help both of them out?
எனக்கு பர்சனலா வந்து இந்த it doesn't mean we are okay and they are not having a problem, or we are also.
Because it's a
He's not audible. You both are audible.
good, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes, everything is fine, Karthik.
Sorry.
We are getting a network this thing, so that's why we
Yes.
paused. Sorry for the pause. Yeah, I'm not. I do not know if there is a difference. I have a problem when I think I've brought this to you all. I mean, Thuvakkam and a couple of other people that uh, volunteer run organization. I'm calling it volunteer organization. எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் ஒரு இது இருக்கு. I don't know if there's something, but let's say organization. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So organization that has a team of volunteers. What can it do? So the difference between a company like Alert Ops that is sponsoring and letting employees be part of it versus Thuvakkam, for example, let's say, and then which is a volunteer organization. That's how you started, and now you made it something that of a career or as a organization that supports a lot of people, and you are actually doing social work. Okay, and so I don't know if there is a difference in how other sorry, there is in specifically that இதுல வந்து என்னன்னா வந்துட்டு the challenge is always in one particular challenge that sticks out is the availability of funds, money. Okay. In private organizations or for profit organizations, money is available, and then it's a question of where I want to apply it. In your this thing, it's always chasing. You always have a resource. One of the biggest resource gaps that volunteering organizations or the organization that you're referring to experiences the ability to source funds to run and manage or support ongoing activities or new activities. அது இருக்கு. So அதுல வந்து one problem that people will experience working there is that what happens tomorrow, what happens day after, will this favorite project of mine continue? Like a friend of mine is helping out turtles. Okay. Constant worry is if I don't get money next year for the support of the program, then this particular cost will get be implemented.
Disseminate. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so somehow managing how to manage it, etc. Now, the people working for this organization obviously have to have a lot more sort of the empathy towards the organization and tie in with the organization. ஏன்னா இது அப்பப்போ வரும். Okay, if I am here only for pure career growth, this can affect me and I might have a problem with it. So there is that aspect that needs to be balanced. I don't know how, I mean, I haven't worked for one, but I can only see this, the monetary aspect being a key angle in differences of how that is going. Otherwise, the I don't see how a voluntary organization, I have how it should run, ideas. Okay, how it is running and what is the relationship with the employees is this is my view. Okay, but how it should run is it should run exactly like a for-profit organization. It should be able to manage it, but easier said than done. பண்ணுப்பா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டானா, but where is the money going to come from? So that struggle of funds and is a constant problem. So when you are going to project for next year, I need to grow. What is growth? How does it, what does it mean, right? So இதெல்லாம் நிறைய challenges இருக்கு. If we start talking about that, that's a whole, we can go into that.
Yeah. You use that word social work, right? Because most people they associate volunteering with social service, which is a very wrong. It's a misnomer when it comes to what we do. Because social service is something you're doing completely without any personal benefit. But at the end of the day, just like the word CTC is there, right? Cost to company, madri. Now I need a way to support my family, or I need a way to support my passions. So when it comes to social work, I think volunteering also helps people when it comes to networking because it has connected you and I. Right?
Absolutely.
We would have never met otherwise. So do you think a person with a huge volunteering background can open the doors for others or open the doors that would have been blocked for them in connecting with people?
Absolutely. But uh, it all depends how you want to leverage that network. So there's LinkedIn, for example.
Right.
How many people have actually benefited from LinkedIn? I think lots. But when you suddenly ask somebody, they'll say, "எனக்கு ஒண்ணும் வரல."
Yeah. Job apply பண்ண response. We'll get back to you.
But there are a lot of indirect benefits that you get from there. You don't realize. Okay,
Right.
it definitely helps. Knowing people always helps. ஏன்னா அப்பதான் வந்து எங்க ஒரு ஒரு டோர் இருக்கு, ஒரு விண்டோ இருக்கு, ஒரு சின்ன ரேட் ஹோல் இருக்கு, என்னால பூந்துக்க முடியும்னு இருக்குது. So definitely there's no aspect about to say that there is a negative side to it. You know, networking and knowing people is always going to be beneficial. How is that why you're there? Or those are all other questions. அதுக்கு தான் இருக்கியா வேற என்ன பண்ணியா? So அது வந்து selfish motive னு பார்க்கும்போது, and I'm not saying there's something bad because in the end we have to grow.
Right.
If we don't grow, it is not always about taking and giving. It's about give and take. இதுல ஒரு give and take இருக்குல்ல. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, why else would famous celebrities be invited to some art gala opening, right? You need that clout to
Bring
open
people.
the doors, yeah, to bring the people forward.
Right.
So, do you think there are challenges that people face when it comes to volunteering? For example, when I was discussing with someone and they mentioned when I see volunteering, I see it as someone doing very hard work or someone who is like after cyclones, right? People who are help clearing out. Do you think that maybe there's a gender bias in volunteering, or do you think something is stopping people from volunteering?
I personally haven't experienced. I haven't
Right.
seen it in your organization. I haven't seen it in the other organization. So I don't know. And also, while I'm trained to look for that, meaning because of my personal belief, I look for that kind of gender discrimination if there. I haven't observed any yet. I am sure எல்லா ஃபீல்ட்லயும் எல்லா இடத்துலயும் வந்து ஒரு அளவுக்கு இது இருக்கும். I don't know if that is the answer you're looking for, or is there a particular problem you're trying to hit at?
No, I'm trying to hit at the point that there is no challenges to volunteering.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 அது so எல்லாத்துலயும் சேலஞ்சஸ் இருக்கு. ஓகே, சேலஞ்சஸ் பார்த்தானா அது ஒரு மலை மாதிரி இருக்கும் போது. ஓகே, அதை பார்த்துட்டு உள்ள போக கூடாது, உள்ள போகணும்னா வந்துட்டு தட்ஸ் அ டிஃபரெண்ட் ஆஸ்பெக்ட். அதான் அந்த வாலண்டியரிங் பண்றதுக்கு, ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் யூ செட் நோ சைக்ளோன் ரிலீஃப்னா வந்துட்டு, so I left to the US very early in my life. Okay, and then for quite a bit of time I was completely in the US. And I would see the outpouring of so typical of the Western culture. A lot of people come out and help. Okay, and during my college days, for some reason, for a strange reason, so before my college time, NSS was a very active force in colleges and schools, in NCC, Scouts. This is how we used to go when there's a relief camp. NCC would go in. Okay, unfortunately, I never had got an opportunity. Or we were not exposed that route. For some reason, between me going to college and the next this thing going to college, a lot of these programs were slowly being shut down, or they were not, those avenues didn't exist. And I built the opinion that in India people don't volunteer. Fast forward to till I meet you guys, until tsunami happened, etc. And so on. Then as when I see the outpouring of, what happens, what is happening in India. So there is, people are coming out, people are stepping out. Uh, we are a huge country and we can do a lot with this volunteering effort. So there is a gap. Why people are not coming? I think Thuvakkam as an organization can look into that and try to track it.
Yeah, because
Challenge illa. நீ சொன்ன மாதிரி
challenge இல்ல. Right, people who like our tagline, right, be the change, which comes from Mahatma Gandhi. It's more of the aspect of
start somewhere.
yeah, just start somewhere. Because I think since you hit on US college applications are such a hard thing to crack, because they US college applications want to see what is unique in you. And people put volunteering in their college applications. They're like, oh no, I worked 1 month on the UNESCO camp, or I worked for this organizations. Even Thuvakkam had so many virtual volunteers from all over the world who helped us maybe draft a proposal or other aspects. So I think if people realize the value in volunteering, they can develop the skill or bridge the gap when it comes to opening a door or getting into a particular avenue for their careers, right?
Uh, Absolutely. Because you mentioned college applications, etc. There is that they come out during that time specifically because they need to fill up that gaps in their
Right.
in their personality development,
Yeah,
right?
the first question in an interview, right? Tell me about
Tell
yourself.
me about yourself, exactly. So no, but that is very important. No, so when you come, when somebody comes to me and I'm asking you to describe yourself, I did this. நான் இந்த screw tighten பண்ணேன், இப்படி வந்து திருப்பினேன், அந்த machine fix பண்ணேன், இந்த code எழுதினேன். All those things are good. It tells a nice story. Okay, and many times it actually works. I mean, that's the kind of person you want. The guy who tightens the best screws or writes the best code, etc., and so on. But I can tell you, in my search for people, this the ability to write code or ability to do something technical, the ability to do something professional, all of those are important. But I've seen a lot of people who can do all of these things, but are a real, for lack of a better political, a big screwball at work. Okay, they come in and they will disrupt the environment. They will disrupt the workforce. They will disrupt themselves. They're unhappy. They spread bad news and a lot of things. And then once such person comes into an organization, very difficult to veg it out and then recreate that old that culture.
Yeah, they bring that toxicity or something which affects the workplace.
Okay. Sorry, அப்ப வந்து, so what else can I look for? Because in a 15-20 minute interview, I cannot ask a lot of questions. So now if there was something else that the person did, these become judgment points for me to determine, oh, okay, so you went and did this. Why did you do this? I wrote it for my college application. Okay, you're honest about it. Nice. But okay, that may not qualify you.
Right.
It may not buy some this thing with me.
Brownie points.
Brownie points with me. But இல்ல நான் இது பண்ணேன். எனக்கு அது போகும்போது இது பிடிச்சது. எனக்கு அது இன்னும் இருக்கு, but இப்ப time இல்ல. Hey, you've come to the right place. I can find time for you and I want you. Okay. So there are people, I think, like me who would look for that. What have you done besides just the work that is being given to you? How do you apply yourself? What is the human being that you are? And when you come into my organization, how are you going to be a change event in my organization? Is a positive change event, or are you going to be a negative change event? And skills built outside a work environment are, or experiences built, I won't say skills, experiences gained from outside a work environment can be very key in terms of telling what kind of a person you are. People can still fake it. Okay, இதெல்லாம் பண்ணி வந்துட்டு you can have a lot of this thing. But we have when we bring people in, we make choices, right, bad, okay choice, and I need tools to help me determine what kind of person it is, and these things have.
So, because even though a volunteer is supposed to be selfless, it is nice to get appreciated, right? Like Thurkam's Foundation Awards, we get scores of, we have different categories. And one category that I was thankfully part of the panel was Volunteer of the Year. There were so many people who were out there helping the blind find housing, or there were people who were helping HIV victims. Um, these these people, they are doing something much that cannot be put into words. They're doing so much more, and it's nice to get recognized sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if that helps me like land a job or something, great. But I think that should drive a person to do something more with their time.
Let me ask you a question.
Yep.
So you finished college, you guys started Thuvakkam that time, okay? And you were with Thuvakkam, not gainfully employed, quote unquote, gainfully employed. Now you are.
Yeah.
Now you are working in a corporate. So how do you think the years of post college were according to our society? Hey, என்னப்பா வேலை பண்ணுப்பா வேலைன்னா என்ன பண்ணும்?
Actually is a part of Pongal. I didn't know that was there because I think this generation, everyone orders Swiggy, Zomato. You don't realize how much value goes into it.
Your mother was always saying, உருப்பட மாட்டேன் நீ வந்துட்டு எதாவது பண்ணு வீட்டுல.
I will be like, எனக்கு பொங்கல் பண்ண தெரியும் because of Tuakam, right? Since Pongal is coming up, that came to my mind. So there are skills which are not quantifiable,
Very true.
which you pick up when it comes to.
நீ வந்து uh, when you finish college, I mean, you were probably on the brighter side. You may have done some presentations in college.
Mhm.
Okay. This may not apply to you. But there are a lot of people, அவங்களால வந்து நின்று பேசுறதுக்கு கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமா இருக்கு.
Right.
Okay. ஆனா உங்க துவக்கம் மாதிரி ஆர்கனைசேஷன்ல வந்து these people I've seen, because I've been with you guys, people come and say they make the announcement. Like today, Santosh and
His
yeah,
yeah.
they're all making the announcement. So they are now put into the play. Even if தத்துப்புத்துன்னு சொன்னா கூட வந்துட்டு, uh, there is their peers that are standing there watching them. So it's okay. You make a thing. Now with two bit of, like you said, தோர்தால் இருக்கணுமா வேண்டாமா, பருப்பு வேகணுமா வேண்டாமா, தத்துப்புத்து பேசணுமா வேண்டாமா அப்படின்னு பேசி பேசி ஒரு ஒரு 1 year முடிச்ச அப்புறம் வந்துட்டு, suddenly you go for an interview. Can you please talk about yourself? First thing that's what we ask. What do you tell me about yourself? Yeah, that resume எழுதிருக்கேனே. Tell me about yourself, okay? You will be, like you said, fish in the water. You're like, I can talk about myself. What do you do? Boom, 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 boom. I can give you a list. But people who are not trained for this find it difficult. They have come prepared, mentally prepared to come with a story and etc. And then somebody like me, you see a lot of people within 2-3 minutes, I can see this is like, hey, you are doing the mugging thing. Let me twist you and see what you answer. And then suddenly you're like lost. That
is the skill on work, right? Because nothing goes by plan.
So this one is quantifiable, unquantifiable. Yeah. You went there, மழை பெஞ்சிச்சு. Now you have to, I don't know, what do you do?
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I think I was there one of those events.
We probably did, yeah. And I think Tuakam, or any organization for that matter, becomes that canvas where the volunteer can figure out who they are or figure out what skills they want. Before I wrap up, I just wanted to say this, right? We have started 2026. Today is Jan 3rd. Um, Many people take a lot of interesting resolutions. I want to go to the gym. I want to watch these movies. I want to cast my vote for my favorite actor. Like Tokam is non-political, so
Cast my vote for a favorite actor. Okay, fine.
oh no, I meant politicians as actors, but that is a whole other topic.
Let's not go.
Right? So yeah, so there are so many things that people resolve to do, and I think if you can resolve to attend one volunteering event, or if you can resolve to decide, okay, I just want to see what all the hubbub is about. If I can just volunteer once this year, maybe I can gain something out of it. I think that will be a great New Year resolution for people to take. So thank you, CK, for joining us today on this podcast for Experience Exchange. Is there anything you would like to add when it comes to this topic?
No, I think your name, Tuakam, and your motto, be the change. Since you brought up that, 2026, beginning of the year, start start somewhere. Okay, and then do something small if that's what you can do, and then who knows, maybe you'll become addicted to it, and the next Karthik Shiva sitting next to me or sitting next to somebody asking, hey, what does it feel about volunteering? So all the best to you and to other volunteers who haven't or who are, and let's hope that we go change the world.
Thank you, CK. If there are any questions, we can take it up. Otherwise, thank you, Santosh, Kesia, Dinesh, who have been monitoring the chat and the teams and all the streaming settings. So please let us know if there are any questions that we can discuss. The very first topic that we chose for experience exchange volunteering was mainly because United Nations actually designated 2026 as the International Volunteer Year, and we launched BMate. Thuvakkam has a year-long volunteering activity plan, so I think this year is going to be very crucial in at least a lot of people's lives when it comes to volunteering.
I am, based on my past experience, I'm confident about what you guys are uh, endeavoring to do, and I think this will come out grand. Your Did you guys not do the 100-day something?
We did 75 days of change on the 75th
Yeah.
Independence Day, Independence Year of India. Yeah.
Which when I first heard of it, I was like, "Oh my God, how can you do something like that? That's so frightening. I would not attempt to do that." So you guys have a lot of guts, a lot of grit. I think all the best to that, and I think great way to start 2026.
Yeah, because we have the packed schedule. Like every month we have one of these experience exchanges. We have the BMate being part of our awareness events, our painting or any other activity. So the month is going to be bombastic for people to join us. So I think it's a wrap. So thank you, CK, for joining us.
Thank you.
And hope to see you more in our Tokam events as a volunteer.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.